for the room to fill up for those of you who are watching live. For those of you who are watching the recording, welcome. Howdy do. My name is Shannon Gilmore and you are watching Positively Spiritual. This is your place to be. This is your healing hub. This is your go-to place to find restoration, comfort, and healing in a way that resonates with you as we all come together and we help you out. We help our brothers and sisters as we are each other's accountability partner. We hold each other responsibility to this healing program of just putting one foot in front of the other and just keep swimming, just keep going in this river of life. And we meet here on the daily at 1 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern Standard Time. So welcome. It's so nice that you could join the recording. For those of you who are watching live, we're just going to let this room fill up a little bit and wait for some viewers. So just take a seat. And we're just going to wait for some more people to come in. So thank you. Welcome. It's nice to see you, as always. So as always, be sure to keep your table in the upright position as we're about to take off. Yeah. I know, I don't make a good pilot, but I can't even do the intercom properly. But what I can do is say, frick it. I can do that. And I'm so excited to share with you what I mean by that. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So guys, just come in the room and fill up. Fill up the room. Come on, let's do this. Let's share. Okay. Well, should have done some singing exercises, some warm-ups before I start talking. But I'm just so excited. Oh my gosh. I'm just bursting at the seams here. This insight is just so important, I think. So, hello, welcome. Welcome to the room. Welcome to Positively Spiritual. My name is Shannon Gilmore. If you don't know who I am already, it's nice to have you and welcome. Please be seated and we will get on with this video in just a few more minutes. So if you have to top up your tea, go get some coffee, get a nice comfy cushion under your tushy for your seat, by all means, as we will start in just a few moments. Kids are home today from school upstairs, so there might be a little bit of noise. So we will do our best to just let it be. So, okay, well, hello everyone. Let's just get started and we'll go from there and have fun with this. Welcome, my name is Shannon Gilmore and you are watching Positively Spiritual. Thank you for coming on into this live and joining me today. Yeah, don't mind the spotlight. It's, you know, trying to keep the eye shine off of my glasses. So if you guys can hear me okay, yeah, I didn't even, yeah, there we go. Now you guys can probably hear me. So if you guys have feedback or if you can't hear me, just let me know in the comments at any time. yeah, you guys are welcome to share your comments, questions, and suggestions, but I ask that you please keep it respectful, understand and remember your audience, because it's not just you asking the questions to me. You're asking questions and making comments to other people in the room who, excuse me, may not understand. They may be easily offended, so please be mindful of that, okay? All right, so let's get started. So, having the frick it attitude when it comes to the narcissist. What do I mean by that? Well, that's another name. Here in Canada, we say frick. You know, fricassee, for frick's sakes. Oh, just frick it. Instead of saying F you, pluck it, or bucket. We have our own way of doing things in Canada. You know, we like to say, you know, we like to say a. You know how it goes. Canada is a loving country, and we are just a loving bunch who like to say sorry all the time. So I love to make fun of myself because I have American friends and they make fun of my accent all the time. I don't have an accent, but sometimes it comes out where I say a. I try not to, but it happens. So that's why I named the title of this video Frick It, because I don't like to swear, but I do like to swear. I like to say frick it. And I say frickin' a lot. And sometimes you just have to say frick it. You just have to say it. Say it with me. Frick it. It feels good, doesn't it? Okay, I'm making light of it, but this is kind of interesting because I was woken up at 4 o'clock in the morning. My peepers, I'm a little bit tired, but I'm excited and happy. I wanted to do this video at 4 in the morning because God just gave me insight. Hi, Diane. Oh, I love the United States. Hi, Nessor. Nice to see you. Yeah, frick it is just such an easy word. It rolls off the tongue and you can say it and nobody really gets the meaning, as you can say it in jest or you can say it with real heartfelt intent and people will understand what you're saying, but it's lighthearted, so we don't take it to heart, right? That's the point. That's the point of this message today. Frick it. In the face of narcissism, when the narcissist wants to gaslight you, you have a frick it attitude. You may not want to say, oh, frick it, to them. I mean, come on, that would cause them offense, right? But we observe and do not absorb their gaslighting, their lying, their diabolical ways. And what God shared with me this morning as I was woken up at 4 o'clock this morning and I just had this aha moment where everything clicked. Everything clicked. You don't have to absorb what the narcissist says and does to you. You don't have to take it in. But you take it in because there's already within you that matching vibration, that matching frequency, that matching feeling. And so it's your responsibility to look at that matching feeling, as we discussed in last night's live. Did you guys watch about anger management? That was pretty intense. It was long, but it was pretty intense. And when you take a look at your own emotions and you ask yourself, where does this emotion come from? Yes, the narcissist pushes your buttons, but they're not depositing anything in you that wasn't already there in the first place. They're just magnifying what is there. If you've watched our lives, then what I'm saying to you will make sense to you. So when you're in front of a narcissist and they're gaslighting you and they're saying, no, I didn't take the cookie from the cookie jar. It wasn't me. Must have been the cat. Really? We don't have a cat. Well, it was the neighbor's cat. They snuck in through the door. you're really going to spin that one? You're really going to spin that thread and make a sweater out of it? Really? Really? Yeah. What do you take me for? Instead of taking offense, have the attitude, frick it. I almost said pluck it, but say frick it. And you don't have to say it to them, but you can say it to yourself, because you know that this lie is so out there. You know this lie is a lie is a lie, and it doesn't make sense. So why absorb it? Why get mad at it? Why stand against it? Why even acknowledge it? It's so bizarre. Why even acknowledge it? And that's what the pluck it or frick it attitude is. It's why even entertain it? Why even give it acknowledgement? It's so bizarre. It isn't real. It can't be real. It's not real. And so when you're standing in front of a narcissist and they're spinning this tale of lie, which involves another lie, which involves another lie, instead of getting mad, instead of getting angry and allowing them to push your buttons to the point where you become frustrated, why be frustrated? See it for what it is. This is supposed to be a frustrating tale to get you to shut down and not question. This is to be a frustrating situation so the narcissist can get away with what they've been doing. This live is all about talking about a narcissist and how you can truly stand against the narcissist to set you free. Hi, Devinder. It's nice to see you. Welcome. So I'm just laying the foundation here, because what was given to me in insight at 4 a.m. is pretty funny. It's like, oh, I didn't see this. Why didn't I see this before? We don't see this because our negative emotions act as that veil. You know, God says we see through or Paul says we see through a glass darkly. Well, that's what this is. The negative emotions that we pack around every day and we live and feel, even though they're just bubbling under the surface of our emotions, the negativity is what is our problem, not the narcissist. Don't take offense to that. Having the frick it attitude, like just, okay, I'm done. Frick it, I'm done. And you don't pay attention to it. Don't entertain it. How you don't entertain it is to reverse psychology it. Have you ever heard the term of reverse psychology? It's what you do with kids. If you're a parent, it's what you do with your child. You want your child to come to you when they're called, as maybe you guys are getting ready for school and they're dawdling. So you use reverse psychology because they're dawdling because they don't want to go to school. And you know that what your child likes and dislikes, so you kind of use reverse psychology. Oh, today's Tuesday. You've got art class today. And you know your child loves art class. So it's like, come on, let's hurry up. You don't want to be late for art class. That's how you reverse psychology. You make something that they don't want to do. You turn that negative into a positive. And that's what this frick it theory, I'm going to call it the frick it theory, okay? Whatever you want to call it. Reverse psychology. You turn your negative emotions, you turn the negative gaslighting into a positive in your favor. And how you do that is when you come to the narcissist and you ask them, did you take the cookie from the cookie jar? Hi, Joe. Nice to see you. Welcome. And the narcissist says, no, I didn't take the cookie from the cookie jar. And they're like, did you take the cookie from the cookie jar? And you're like, no, I know I didn't take it. And they're like, well, it wasn't me. Well, then I know I didn't, and you know you didn't. So who took the cookie from the cookie jar? Aw, thank you, Zervain. Nice to see you. Welcome. Um, you know, the narcissist doesn't have an answer, and if they do come up with an answer, it's something like this. Oh, maybe it was the cat that took the cookie from the cookie jar. Excuse me? We don't have a cat. Oh, yeah. Well, then it must be the neighbor's cat that maybe came in through an open window. That naturally gets you frustrated, right? It's like, come on, we're adults. You're really going to sideline me like that? Like, come on. You're really going to do me dirty like that? Just own up. You took the cookie. What the frick? What the frick? Well, instead of allowing yourself to get frustrated, turn it around and reverse psychology yourself, not the narcissist, yourself. Because what the narcissist is doing is they are matching your negative energy. So you're already disappointed because you were looking forward to that cookie in the cookie jar, right? And it was the last one and the narcissist took it. So you're already showing disappointment. You're already judging them because it's like, gee, can't they just they already had their share. Why did they have to take mine? So you've already got this negativity going on, and you go to the narcissist and you're like, did you take the cookie? And they're like, no, I didn't. They're nonchalant about it. And that makes you even more upset because it's like, frick, they're not even showing any empathy. They can't even fake a sorry, and own up to it. They've got to lie. Why do they got to lie? Like, what's the deal here? So your energy is already bubbling and rising, and you're getting angrier, and you're getting more upset, and you're getting more judgmental, and you're getting more resentment and showing more resentment and feeling more resentment against them. So this is where the fricket works, where you, instead of allowing the gaslight and the lies to punctuate your feelings and magnify them, you diffuse your emotions by laughing at yourself, by laughing at the situation and laughing at your own emotions, because your emotions, your growing emotions are telling you, that narcissist, they're a real jerk, they're real selfish, they really don't care about you. It's just a cookie, yeah, but it's the principle, and yeah, they're all, and then you start spinning it and start looking back on the past, and they're always doing this to me, they're always undermining me, and then you go back to a memory of, oh yeah, remember that time they did that and I never said anything? That's how the resentment builds. Stop yourself from doing that by just saying, frick it, and laughing at it and saying, you know what? Don't say this to them, but say this to yourself in your mind. My feelings, my negative feelings about this are a waste of time. The negative feelings that I'm having from this loss of cookie, from him or her lying to me about taking the cookie, it's a waste of my time. It's petty. It's a waste of energy. And you know what? I'm just going to laugh and smile through this because you know what? Of course they took the cookie. Of course they took the cookie. Of course they did. It's the only thing that makes sense. And I don't even need to ask them. I know they took the cookie. If the cookie's missing and I know I didn't take it, why did I ask them? I don't need to ask them. I know who took the cookie. And you know what? Rather than giving myself over to a fight to engage these negative emotions in me, I'm just going to make light of it and either make or buy more cookies. Problem solved. Now, when it comes to dealing with the narcissist, of course, you're going to deal with more severe situations. but understanding that it's not about them, it's about you. And it's about being in a situation that you can control. Because whether or not the narcissist is there to push your buttons and provoke you, that's not the issue. The issue is about you and how you conduct yourself in those provoking situations. You have a choice. You can allow those negative situations to bring up negativity within you, or you can just take control of your emotions and say, yeah, this has brought me to anger, and yeah, what the narcissist does makes me angry, but you know what? I don't have to be angry because they're just being who they are, and frick it. I'm going to be who I am, and I'm going to choose to be happy, and I'm going to choose to live my life and not let what they do bother me. I'm going to take steps now to protect myself. Maybe now, because they're lying about this cookie, maybe I need to save a few cookies in a different cookie jar that the narcissist doesn't know about. And maybe keep that in my room so they can't steal. So they can't take the last cookie, and if they do, well, I'm not gonna worry about it because they're welcome to it. I got my own stash. See, the saying frick it to yourself is a way of protecting yourself from absorbing the negativity. It's like, okay, have you guys ever heard of the law of attraction? It's not woo-woo, okay? We're not going to get into the woo-woo of it. We're dealing with the scientific aspect, that what you think about, you actually bring about. God talks about reaping and sowing, okay? So Jesus himself says that when you think about adultery against or with someone, it's as if you've done it already. What does that mean? Well, this is where it gets a little deep. God was referencing the spirit nature. Our thoughts are of the spirit. Our voice is of the spirit. What comes out of your mouth comes from your heart. What your heart is of your spirit. How you act when you use your hands or your body to engage in some sort of activity, running or, writing or typing on the computer, you're using your body. That's of the flesh. But your body doesn't act on its own. It takes your spirit man to develop thoughts, and those thoughts are what you act out based on your feeling. I'm wanting to keep all my cookies to myself, but that's just not me. I know, I love cookies. I love cookies, and if I could, I would hoard them all to myself too, but I share them. Even the last one, even if it's like we split the cookies up and you have all your cookies, but I saved my very last one, I'm going to share it with you. I will. I'll share it. I'll split it 10 different ways. Each of us get a piece. That's just how I am. So even though my ego's like, they ate theirs, so eat it in front of them. No, that's just not me. My ego is the Oscar, the Grouch, and Cookie Monster combined, but no. So understanding what Jesus said, when he said, when you look upon somebody and in your mind you have thoughts of committing adultery, it's as if you've committed adultery. Because this is true. Because Jesus was addressing our spiritual nature, and our spiritual nature comes first. Our spirit nature drives our flesh. Our spirit nature drives and basically operates our body. And we do have thoughts that we don't act upon. But the conscious thoughts that we do know about, we have to be careful because we sow seeds. And we may not act upon them right away, but they come back to us when those thoughts have matured and gained momentum. And when those thoughts come back to us, could be, an hour, a day, a week, a month, a year, 20 years from now. The more distance the time is put between us and that thought, and it comes back to us in a familiar pattern where we're just like, oh, that seems familiar. That's something that we sown way in the past, but we don't remember because we don't remember our thoughts. We're not hanging on to our thoughts. And so it seems like, oh, this is an inspiration. This is from God. This was meant to be. This feels like fate. You're reading your own energy. That's why it's comfortable to you. That's why it's, feels good for you to engage in, even though it might be morally wrong or not beneficial, but it feels right. You're feeling your own energetic pattern coming from that. So the law of attraction basically has you, or tells you, as they dismiss God, but God is in the details. They tell you, law of attraction tells you to think of a thought, think of a scenario. You want a scenario to come into fruition, think about it and endow that thought with feeling, and it has to come to you. That's basically what Jesus said. When you think about committing adultery with someone, it's as if you've done it. Because when you're thinking about committing adultery, it's not just the act. It's about having that feeling attached. Whatever feeling it is that you feel against that person in secret, you're forming in your mind, and because your feelings are attached, it may not come with that person, but it may come attached with somebody else who is willing to commit adultery against their spouse with you. Or maybe somebody is willing, a willing participant to commit adultery with you against your partner. So, thoughts, excuse me, entertain feelings, and feelings entertain thoughts. And so it's important for us to recognize that the narcissist, they are not projecting their feelings onto us in the way that we don't have any negative feelings of our own. We do. They're projecting their own feelings onto us, which in turn fuel our own feelings and cause our negative feelings to rise to the surface to the point where we are engaging with them. That's what the narcissist ultimately wants. They want us to engage in our negative feelings, those feelings that we just ignore, those feelings that we push down to the surface and we be happy anyway. The narcissist is in our lives to get us to recognize these feelings and act out in these negative feelings full time, just like they are. You can't have a competition with somebody unless you're like-minded, unless there's some sort of familiarity between the two of you. I mean, if you're in a musical competition, how does a musical competition work? If you're in a piano competition and somebody is standing beside you and they're playing the ukulele, how does that competition work? Yeah, you guys are playing the same musical notes, but it's not a competition because you're not comparing one thing against another thing that is like it. You're not comparing, like, how is an art competition if the theme of the competition is, let's see how well you guys paint still life. Okay, but then the person who comes in late to the party and doesn't know that this is a painting competition, but comes in and says, okay, well, I'm an artist, I'm a dancer, so let me dance and I'm going to enter into the competition. How does that work? Just because it's art, it has to be the same genre, it has to be the same theme in order for you guys, for a competition to take place. It's like, I'm going to say this, where you've got, this gender bending community who says, okay, I'm a guy, but I identify as a woman, so let me go on to the volleyball team, the women's volleyball team. That's not fair. You can't compete. Women and men cannot compete fairly in a competition, because in a competition there are certain criteria that have to be met, that have to be the same, that make it a competition, because you've got to use your creativity in this competition that sets you apart from the rest of your competition. So this competition that the narcissist has with us, it's not right away. This competition that they have with us is they lie to us to hook us, to get us into a relationship or a partnership or some sort of rapport with them. They establish a relationship, a working relationship, whether that's friendly or whatever it may be. And then they start provoking us to engage us in our negative feelings that we allow to bubble up to the surface, and we express those negative emotions, and that's where the competition begins. There is no competition when the narcissist first meets us. There is no competition until the narcissist starts undermining us and gaslighting us and provoking us to feeling those negative emotions. Because the narcissist is looking for, see, you're just like me. See, you're not better than me. You're just like me. You give yourself, you've got those negative feelings in you just like I've got them in me, and now I'm seeing, yeah, so this is the true you. This is your real colors. Yeah, the narcissist is observing and saying to themselves, you know what, you're not better than me. I'm better than you because I am able to keep them better pushed down. That's where the competition is. So instead of allowing the narcissist to malign you and undermine you and place you in this competition that you never agreed to, say, frick it. When the narcissist says, yeah, no, it must have been the neighbor's cat coming through the open door and lifting the lid, the turn on lid, and the cat lifted the lid and took their paw and took out the cookie, and yeah, you're just like, yeah, okay, I'll believe that when pigs fly. That's so funny, I forgot to laugh. That's a knee slapper. You make fun of it in your mind, not to the narcissist. It's not about disrespecting them. It's about not allowing your negative emotions get the better of you. When you can laugh in the face of adversity, it's like the Lion King. I love this part where little Simba, he's facing, he wants to go to the elephant graveyard. And he takes Nala with him, and Nala's like apprehensive. And she's like, it's dangerous. We're not supposed to go there. And little Simba goes, I laugh in the face of danger. Ha ha ha. And I love that part because that's a childlike nature that's innocent. And it's that innocent nature that allows us to explore our limitations. And our negative feelings put limitations on us. Our negative feelings are rooted in fear, and fear says, no, you can't do that. You can't say that. You can't go there. No, you'll never be able to achieve that. But if you laugh, in jest, like with no malicious intent, if you just laugh at your feelings and say, yeah, okay, ego, I know what you're doing. You're trying to sideline me, and I'm gonna go and try that out anyways. I'm gonna go and explore, my creativity, and I'm gonna go to that cooking class regardless if there's a crowd or not that makes me shy. I'm just gonna go step out of my comfort zone, and I'm gonna allow myself to have fun. So ego, you know what? You can come along with me, or you can go and take a back seat, but we're doing this. I don't care. That's how you got to treat your ego in front of a narcissist. So get good at seeing yourself and taking a look at your flaws. Get good at recognizing the negative emotions that you express or you try to hinder. Get good at seeing, okay, yeah, I'm a little jealous and I have a little attitude here and there when somebody tries to control me. Yeah, I feel a resentment against my sister or my brother for saying that long ago, and you know what? I'm going to take a look at that and address that. Because that resentment, those feelings of anger, those feelings of unworthiness and doubt, if you can take some time during your day to work those out, those feelings of your past, and work them out, because the narcissists guarantee they are trying to provoke those historical feelings in you. And when you work on them without the narcissist's knowledge, don't let that, this is the ultimate gaslight against the narcissist. This is the ultimate trick and turning the tables on the narcissist. And this is a way to sideline the narcissist without letting them know that you're working on yourself. When they try to provoke you, you can just, I see what you're doing. Yeah, okay, that's a nice spin. That's a nice tale you want to tell me about the cookie. You know what, man? Whatever. I just know you're letting me know for next time, that's all. And they're like, what about next time? It's okay, don't worry about it. What do you mean about next time? What, you're no longer gonna bake cookies anymore? It doesn't matter, dude. I'm just done. It's okay. It's not bothering me. It's fine. I'll deal with it next time. What do you mean next time? Come on, give it. What do you mean next time? You're so cryptic. It's okay. It's okay. I got my back covered next time. What do you mean? And leave it at that. Just tell yourself for next time you'll make more cookies, or you'll buy more cookies, and you'll keep cookies out of the cookie jar and put them in your own jar, and keep them away from the thieving hands of the narcissist. Understanding that you've got to protect yourself with the narcissist. Having this frickin' attitude protects you from your own feelings and protects your feelings from bubbling up to the surface, so then you become vulnerable to the narcissist, because that's what the narcissist also ultimately wants. They want to see your vulnerable side. They don't want you to tell them how situations of your past made you feel vulnerable. They'll use that against you too. But they really want to see how they can make you vulnerable. It's like you tell them how somebody made you feel and how maybe your family members or sibling or somebody of your past made you feel vulnerable and you fell victim to that vulnerability. Well, now the narcissist is saying, okay, so this is how they were vulnerable in their past. Maybe I can do that to them and have them fall victim to me, because the narcissist is looking to, they don't care if they hurt you or not. That's a bonus. What they want to see is they want to see how they can take you down and make you vulnerable to negativity. Because being vulnerable to negativity keeps you weak in the spirit, keeps you weak to fear, keeps you weak to those demon attachments that the narcissist has. The narcissist is a puppet to the enemy. And if the narcissist can provoke negative feelings in you, those negative feelings attract negative energy, negative spiritual beings. So if you can say, frick it, and laugh in the face of danger, laugh in the face of negative feelings, and don't give your negative feelings as much credit as they want, and understand as you work out those negative feelings to lighten the discharge, you're not dismissing the negative feelings in you. This frick it only works when you are actually working out your own pain and trauma to the point where you don't feel the pain of the past anymore. You can look at it and reflect on it without having any emotional charge. So the life on the outside of you may not be what you ideally want, and that's because you were rooted in the past in those negative feelings. And you can say to your life or to the narcissist, you can just basically say, yeah, I'm not that person that I was then. I'm different now. And I'm not rooted in fear. I'm not living in fear. So frick it. You can't get to me. A narcissist cannot get to those feelings if those feelings are not there. The narcissist is going to have to try very hard to push your buttons to get those feelings to bubble to the surface. And the harder that the narcissist tries, that means it's work. And the more energy that they have to invest in working on tearing you down, it's not worth it. If they're not going to see a result, they'll try. They'll expend some energy. But if all they're doing is expending energy and they're not getting anything in return as a reward for that energy expended, then they're just going to be like, this isn't worth it. I'm going to go on to somebody else because this is just not, no, this isn't worth it. So Joe says the flesh and the Holy Spirit cannot share the same space. Yeah. Yeah, donkeys fly. Yeah. I like that. Yeah, so I was laying here in bed at 4 a.m. and, with a renewed spirit. Because this helps you to understand exactly what it means where the joy of the Lord is your strength. When you stand in the face of negativity with joy, joy is your strength. Because joy prevents you from absorbing that negativity. And when you absorb that negativity, that is what allows that natural state of negativity in you to flourish and grow. And so when you start not allowing the narcissist to hinder you by the narcissist trying to entertain that negative emotion in you, and you just like say, no, not today. Frick it. Not today. No. I see the gaslighting for what it is, and I'm not going to give you my emotional power by getting frustrated, because it's energy that is wasted and it doesn't go anywhere. Me getting frustrated at the narcissist who's gaslighting me does not produce positive results. It just makes me more negative and ruins my day and puts a negative cloud over my day. And I have that choice. I can either give into that negativity, or I can rise above it and say, the joy of the Lord is my strength, and I'm choosing. God is with me. Whether you have those negative feelings in you or not, God is with you. It's when you give yourself over to those negative feelings, that's when God isn't in the details in that moment. But when you stay in this moment of now, you can choose to take those feelings of the past in your moment of now, which then doesn't become the moment of now. It becomes the moments of the past are you're trying to relive the past by hijacking these unadulterated moments, these innocent moments of now. Or you can just leave the negativity in the past and just say, I'm choosing to live in this moment. And in this moment, I'm not being hurt. In this moment, my negative feelings are not hurting me. I am free to be who I want to be in this moment, and I'm choosing the joy of the Lord is my strength, and I'm choosing to be happy. So you take that and stand in front of the narcissist where they're rooted in the past, and they want you rooted in the past, and you're coming to the narcissist in a communication and trying to confront them, or they're trying to confront you, and you come forward standing tall, standing strong in the joy of the Lord in the moment of now. That's a barrier in itself. And you'll walk away with a smile. You'll walk away joyful, because the narcissist was not able to engage those negative feelings. And that's the test that lets you know that those negative feelings do not have a hold over you. And that's what makes you joyful. That no longer are those negative feelings ruling you and controlling the choices that you make, the feelings that you feel, and the responses that you make. When you stand tall in the here and now, what does that mean? Well, it simply means is, I'm going to ask you a question. What in this moment do you need? In this moment, is there anything that you ultimately need? Forget about the past. Forget about the work environment. Forget about the demands of your spouse and your children. This moment that you are present in right now with me. Take a breath and dissolve your mind of thought just for a moment. There is absolutely nothing that you need. You're satiated and satisfied. You have no need for money because you're not spending money. You're not spending money on bills, so the bills aren't coming. The bills are not coming in, even though you may have bills piling up on your desk. Right now in this moment, there's no bill on your lap or in your hand. There's no spouse nattering at you and telling you, take out the garbage, dear. Right now, you're in a quiet space. Right now, you're listening to this video. And Because you're engaged in this moment of now with me, you're also engaged in Jesus Christ, who is your peace. See, it's the negative emotions that take away our peace, because our negative emotions root us back to where those negative emotions came from or evolved from. And we seek the past in order to dissipate those negative emotions. And the only way you can dissipate those negative emotions is to go to the past and forgive it. Forgive those people who hurt you by understanding their pain. How you understand their pain is to understand your pain. And then you take that understanding and you bridge the gap by standing in the present moment of here and now and understanding that God has given you peace. He took away the pain for you. See, the enemy doesn't want us to understand this. We don't have to feel those negative feelings. Even though negative things happen to us, we don't have to acknowledge it. We can diffuse it by acknowledging Jesus Christ, who took on the price of pain, of physical pain, emotional pain for us. He did that when he died on the cross for our sins. Because the emotional pain is the consequence of sin. But we were innocent of that sin as somebody forced pain on us. They forced us into a situation that was painful. So that pain doesn't belong to us. So we have every right to let it go because it doesn't belong to us. We were innocent. And pain is a result of sin. And somebody put their sin on us and forced us into situations that hurt us. We didn't do that to ourselves. So those situations of the past where somebody forced pain on us and forced us to feel pain and endure painful situations, we didn't do that to us. We did not do that. We're innocent of that. So because we're innocent, we can automatically give ourselves license to, yeah, let it go. I didn't understand that at first. Because my guilt, my shame, my negative feelings were saying, no, that's too easy. You've got to acknowledge me. Hello, I'm here. Acknowledge those feelings if you want to. It's healthy to do that. But it's not healthy to dwell on those feelings. And when you're here in the moment, you get to express joy as God allows you to become innocent of those negative feelings again. And so you can stand in front of the narcissist and say, you know what? You tell yourself this and you smile and you're just like, okay. Okay, dude. Okay, do that. That's good. That's great. Believe what you want. Your reality is my reality. Or your reality is your reality. My reality is my reality. Your reality is not my reality. And you don't have to take it in. There's nothing that says that you have to absorb the narcissist's lies and gaslighting and their deflection and their manipulation. Be observant. And when they do you dirty, when you know that they're gaslighting you, you're like, okay, I'm going to bathe this in joy because the joy of the Lord is my strength, and I'm not going to allow this negativity to attach itself onto negativity that's in me. I'm better than this. I'm rising above, and I'm meeting this situation in unconditional love, but you know what? Okay, I see it for what it is, and I'm not trusting this type of situation ever again. I'm not trusting the narcissist with the last cookie. I'll lead them to think that there's the last cookie in the cookie jar, where I take my own 5 cookies and I'll take my own cookies out of the cookie jar and I will eat my cookies on my own time. I won't leave myself in any vulnerable position where I go without and I'm left behind or I'm neglected. Now, this just starts with a cookie, okay? This is a little understanding, a simplistic understanding. But the narcissist is an individual who undermines you, who steals from you, who robs from you, who takes without asking. And they may ask, but they're manipulative in their asking. They're coercive. They blackmail you. Once you figure out what they're doing to you, you can't trust them again. And you have to protect yourself. And being joyful by reverse psychology, turning what they do around in a reverse psychology method is extremely helpful. By gaslighting your own ego by saying, "Oh, no, you don't. You're not gonna give in to the machinations. You're not gonna give in to the provoking nature of the narcissist. No, I'm in control this time and we're gonna laugh our way through this." And your ego's gonna say, "But they made me mad." No, they didn't. I'm not mad. No, they didn't make me mad. They just showed me that they're trying to make me mad, and somebody who's trying to make you mad doesn't have your best interests at heart. Somebody who's deliberately trying to provoke you and provoke negative feelings from you is not your friend. Friends and lovers, all we want to do is evoke positive feelings from each other, right? Somebody who wants to provoke negative feelings from you, that's not somebody that you should be hanging around. And to maintain control and the upper hand, you maintain your composure by like, "No, you're not going to do that to me. I see what you're doing." And the narcissist is saying, "Believe me, but I made you mad." "No, I'm not mad." "Yes, you are. You're mad." "No, I'm not. I've actually had a narcissist say that to me. "You're mad at me, aren't you?" "No, I'm not mad at you." "Yes, you are. You're mad." "No, do I look mad?" "I'm not mad." You find this situation amusing when you stand in the truth and you stand in your power given to you from God, you stand in your peace. You're untouchable. And I've had the narcissist say, "You're mad at me." "No, I'm not mad." "Well, you're acting like you're not mad, but I know you're mad." "No. Do you know what's going on inside my mind right now? How do you know?" "I'm not mad at you. It is what it is, and it's okay. I'll deal with it." "Well, aren't you going to deal with it by this way?" "No, well, tell me how you're going to deal with it." "No, that's for me to know. I'll deal with it my way. I'll figure that out." "Well, you're mad." "No, I'm not mad. And you know what? You're not even going to provoke me to anger by you berating me. I'm not mad, and that's all there is to it. Have a nice day." And they're the ones that walk away frustrated. So having this attitude of frick it and just being happy anyway, just being happy through the problem situation, that's an outcome in itself. That's a pathway in itself. What I find really enlightening in this is when you can use this when things don't go your way. It doesn't have to be in the face of a narcissist. It could be, maybe you're trying to make a life decision and situations are just bombarding you where you can't go in the direction that you want. Well, you can just say, frick it. Frick it. I'm going to stand in my courage and I'm going to stay in the direction that I want to go in. I know it's what I want for my life. I know it's right. And I'm just going to frick it. Forget what, my finances say. Forget what the weather says. Forget, other than, like if it's raining, fine. But if it's tornado or whatever, obviously. But you guys kind of get what I mean. Like, maybe you can't go camp. Okay, let's just do an example here. Maybe you want to go camping. And you know what? Your finances are saying, you know what? You really can't afford it. Well, there's ways that you can afford going camping without spending too much money. Maybe you can take a bus to the campsite instead of filling your gas tank with gas and driving yourself. Maybe you can go with a friend and cut the cost of the gas. Maybe you can borrow some camping equipment instead of going to the store and buying brand new. Maybe you can save up or spend a little bit off your paycheck and maybe accumulate your camping gear before you decide to go. Maybe plan this out instead of leaving it last minute. But aside from all that, you've put all the protocols in place, you've done everything right, and still life seems to sideline you. Hi, Nancy. I know this is last minute, but can you watch my kids for an hour? I need to go do something at the office. Or, hi, Nancy. This is your mom calling. I know you had camping plans this weekend, but I'm really needing you to come and help me with your father this weekend. He's being a pain in the ASS, and I just can't do this myself anymore. I'm done. So get here as soon as you can. Thanks. Bye. There are obligations, and then there are obligations. Sometimes you got to do for yourself. Sometimes you have to weigh the pros and you got to weigh the cons, and maybe you got to go. Maybe you got to go and help your mom with your dad. Okay, but if you do that, you can't get mad. You can't get mad. Getting mad at things that are beyond your control is a signal to you where you are fighting control. Yeah, putting up a firewall. When you get angry, you get resentment happening. When you start why is my mom so controlling? Why do I have to go help her out with my dad? My sister can do this. My brother can do this. Well, your brother and sister are taking control of their own lives and saying, frick it. They're doing things for themselves because it's healthy. It's healthy to think of yourself, and thinking of yourself is not selfish. Thinking of yourself keeps you in touch with your feelings and helps those positive feelings to grow. Just because somebody asks you or demands of your time and demands you to cut your camping trip or whatever and put your needs aside for somebody else doesn't mean you have to. Oh yeah, well, I better go help mom or else I'm going to never hear the end of it. No, you need to put healthy boundaries in front of your mom. Mom, I'm willing to help you, but I have planned this trip Now's not the good time. I'm doing this trip. I'm doing this for me. And if something happens while you're camping, oh, for goodness sakes. If dad passes away or something bad happens while you were on the camping trip, don't allow yourself to blame yourself and say, oh, I took Shannon's advice, or I took my friend's advice, or I took my own advice and I went on this camping trip when I should have been with my mom and dad. My mom said she needed help and I wasn't there to help her. And now my dad is, hurt and in the hospital. And if I was there, you don't know what you don't know. You can't allow hindsight to stop you and prevent you from living and doing good things for yourself. You were not here, put on this earth to cater to everybody. Don't allow your guilt. That's on you. Because, somebody could have gotten hurt. Somebody could have, decided. The worst of the worst could have happened while you were there or wherever else you were. If you were in Italy, taking a trip with your family or camping trip or at work, whatever. Anything can happen to us at any time. Do you guys realize that and recognize that? That we are not in control of when it's our time to leave this planet. Hi, Daphne. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Welcome. We are only in control of how we live this life. And God says, when you follow my precepts, I will give you long life in health. And the joy of the Lord is your strength. We've been wasting too much of our lives sitting here wallowing in our sadness, giving credit to the fear that we've been feeling. And we've been ignoring the joy of the Lord. And God is sitting here. Can you just imagine? He's looking down on us, or his light is preventing to shine in us as his voice is silenced, and he's whispering, if you would only be happy, you have some blessing coming to you around the corner that's waiting for you when you turn to joy. But your anger and resentment is preventing that blessing from coming, and instead you are perpetuating the curse that fell on you in your innocence. You are now creating curses for yourself by allowing the negativity to flourish in you. So say frick it. Make a choice. Frick it. I choose to be happy. Frick it. Frick it. The narcissist is a pain in my assets. Frick it. I'm not going to let them to be a pain in my behind anymore. Frick it. Let them do what they want to do. Frick it. They don't care about me. Fine. I care about myself. That's the most important lesson I've learned in dealing with this narcissist is I'm worthy. I'm worthy of loving myself instead of allowing myself to beat myself up and cheat myself because I'm fearful. Those feelings of negativity say that I am unworthy. And those feelings of negativity are unworthy of good things. They're unworthy of my time. I'm a good person. Say that to yourself. I'm a good person. Say that right now. I'm a good person. I'm a good person. Those negative feelings do not validate the goodness in you. You are a good person, whether you feel those feelings, whether you act on those feelings or not, because guaranteed that those negative feelings that you are choosing to feel, that you think you don't have control over, they come from somebody projecting their own pain onto you that brought out those negative feelings, and you were innocent. You did nothing. You did nothing to deserve those negative feelings. You were innocent of any wrongdoing. So why are you allowing those negative feelings to still get the better of you? Why are you allowing those negative feelings to propel you into doom and gloom in your life? You want that better job? Go get it. Oh, but I can't because of this and that. No. Stop fueling the negative. Say, frick it. Laugh. You know what, negative? My ego is so negative that you can't even see the other side of the coin. Do you guys realize that for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction? We're choosing negative, 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 and the positive choices that we are not making, they're like, hello, hello, I'm over here. You gotta turn your face and look over this way in order to see the positives, but the negatives are like, no, look here, not there, look here, look, you're so sad, look, the narcissist hurt you, look, really look at deep into your past, because your past, your mommy and daddy hurt you, and this happened to you, and that happened to you, and oh my gosh, you're just, this is fate, you're meant to stay negative. Deal with those feelings, deal with them, and once those negative things no longer make you feel bad about yourself, once those negative feelings no longer make you feel negative, then you can smile and say, thank you, but no thank you. I'm choosing to be happy. I'm choosing to look at what's over there. We have wasted our lives focusing on the negative and taking 20, 30 years to work out our trauma when it doesn't need to take that long. God even said that the Israelites who wandered the desert for 40 years were only meant to wander the desert for maybe 4 years. It wasn't supposed to take that long. But that's how rooted deep negativity is in us. When we can't see the path ahead, and the path is that the Holy Spirit has made a way for us. We just have to take it, and it's easy. Jesus says his burden is easy and light, but our trauma says, no, we got to work at it. We got to work at getting rid of our trauma. We got to work at getting rid of our pain. We got to work at this, because working at it gives knowledge, acknowledgement to the pain, is entertaining the pain, is keeping the negative or the ego alive, and keeping our focus diverted. I'm guilty for it. I'm guilty for it. But once you see, once you start coming out of the tunnel of darkness, once you start coming out from the valley of shadow of death, once you start seeing and healing of those negative patterns in your life, you will see what I'm saying to you makes sense. When you say frick it and have a joyful attitude towards things, God says, be of good cheer in good times and bad. I've said this myself. Oh my gosh. You're telling me, and I was sarcastic about this, you're telling me that God is telling me to put on a smile? I can't put on a smile. My life is falling apart. My life sucks right now. I'm so sad. You cannot see that you have an alternate choice. when you're like that. But God is telling you, you always have a choice. Your choice is never taken away from you, and that's the ultimate delusion. The ultimate control over anyone is to lead them to believe like they don't have control when they do have control. That's the ultimate deception. And the ultimate form of control is to make your enemy think that they have no control when they always do. God does not take away your free will. So why does negative emotions? It's because we're fixated on the logical mind. Logical mind looks for problems. It doesn't look for solutions. The right side of your brain is the creative center, and you want to know how you can get out of your logical brain? Focus your mind on the right side of your brain. Because where your attention goes, energy flows. Where you put your energy, where you invest your attention, that's where you put your energy. So if you're investing your attention on your negative, you're going to fuel those negatives. And you're going to feel feelings you don't need to feel. What's it going to cost you? You laugh at somebody's jokes, right? You have moments of laughter where you watch something funny on TV, or your little grandchild or your little child makes you smile. They do something innocent and they make you smile. Do something innocent for you that makes you smile. It is said that our subconscious houses the reactions that we gave to situations and people of our past. The theta brainwave, that's the subconscious area of our mind where we don't know we're making certain specific decisions. It's just, this is an area of our brain where it works in the background, hidden from our conscious awareness, and makes decisions for us. And it works on a feedback loop to where we have like something of 65,000 thoughts a day looping in our subconscious. Well, we can change that. Because if you're having negative situations in your life, it's because your subconscious is bringing to you negative situations based on what you feel, and what you feel that you're not aware of is responsible. Your subconscious is responsible because you've had more negative imprinting on your subconscious. When you were in your youth, you had more negative situations than good situations. And so that there's more negative situations on your subconscious than there are positive situations. And so how you create a balance is to be conscious of positive situations. For every one negative situation that your subconscious has filtered, you have to counteract that with 3 positive situations. So what you do is you start rooting yourself in positive affirmations, even though you don't feel happy and joyful and you don't feel these positive things about yourself. Stick with it. Tell yourself all the beautiful and wonderful things that you never heard in your youth, or that nobody said to you that you've always wanted to hear. Tell yourself that. Look at yourself in the mirror. So that's one thing. Listen to positive affirmations. In your earbuds, go on the internet and find positive affirmations that you can listen to while you're sleeping. Another one is writing down positive affirmations. Writing down I am statements and reading them back to you. Write yourself a love letter. Write to you from the perspective of you being your own parent, you being your own lover, you being your own best friend, you being your own teacher and confidant, and write yourself a love letter and read it back to yourself and really invoke those feelings. That's how you positively counteract those negative feelings and dissipate those negative feelings. You don't have to be as conscious, aware of those negative feelings as psychology leads us to believe. By giving our attention over to the negative feelings and allowing those negative feelings to flourish, we are bringing more negativity to us. So it's important to counteract that by being positive and living both sides of the coin, not just one side of negative, negative, negative. If you're going to think on negative, to work out those negatives, to really see where those negativities come from, that's a good thing. But don't neglect the positive. Don't neglect yourself. If you're going into the past and working on your negative of what happened to you in the past or your trauma, counteract that by doing something positive for yourself. Go for a walk, go exercise, go make yourself your best meal. Go do something for yourself. Write yourself a love letter. Go play the piano. Go swimming. Take in a dance class. Go do something for you that allows you to shine. Go do something for you that allows you to smile and think on good things about yourself. Go take in a crochet class, a knot tying class. Go learn some knots. Learn how to do some knots so that on your camping quest, you'll have some knots that you'll be able to tie your gear and hang it in a tree, or tie your tent and, really, tie it down with this specific knot, and it's wind resistant. Like, do things that champion you. And when you do that, that allows you to laugh in the face of adversity and say, frick it. You're telling your feelings, I don't have to listen to you. You're not my boss. You're not my mother. You're not my father. I don't have to listen to you negativity. Just because this is a negative situation, it's not the end of the world. We'll get through it. Well, we're doing this. You don't have to listen to your negative feelings. You don't have to listen to the narcissist. You can have a frickin' attitude and smile, and don't absorb their negativity. Because their negative ways, they're being negative towards you because they want to invoke those negativities in you, because that's where the competition starts. See, you're not so better than me. Oh, you got the joy of the Lord? I can take that joy of the Lord away from you just like that, by exposing you to vulnerabilities. You're like, no, you can't. So it's up to you what you want to do with your life. Do you want to keep being a victim, or do you want to be a thriver? We're not supposed to be surviving in this life. We're supposed to be thriving, and we thrive with the joy of the Lord, who is our strength, as we can do all things in Christ who gives us strength. Jesus is joy, and joy will get us through everything. And I'm guilty for saying, oh, so God wants me to be joyful? That doesn't make sense. That invalidates my negative feelings. I said this because I didn't understand what joy is. I didn't understand that joy comes from Jesus as it is his character trait. He cannot change. The joy of the Lord is our armor of God. And when we put on the armor of negativity, that makes us vulnerable to the attacks of the enemy, which is rooted in fear. Oh no, we're not saved by God's grace. Oh no, God wants us to live in, he doesn't want to heal us. He doesn't want to deliver us from evil. He doesn't want us to be thriving and flourishing in money. He wants us to be destitute. No, he doesn't. Go read his word. Joy is protecting. So I hope this has helped you today, as I'm just walking in joy today. Let the joy of the Lord be your strength, and may you face your adversary or any adversity today with joy. Just try it. You may fall down, but pick yourself back up and just smile through it. Smile through it. Your psychology your psychology follows your physiology. So if you have to fake a smile in front of the narcissist or in front of your boss reaming you out, okay, sure, okay, good, yep, okay. If you have to do that, just fake it for 5 minutes. Your psychology will start having you feel better, and you won't absorb the negativity. It'll go in one ear and out the other. You'll be like, concentrate, focus on yourself when somebody's nattering at you. Take in the important parts, but don't take in the negativity that's against you. Let that go in one ear and out the other. And you'll see that you rise above. So thanks for listening. Hi, Global. Nice to see you. One can make a 6-page 4x4 book from a sheet of paper. Make your own story. Yeah, I like that. I like that. That's really good. So, yeah, like this morning I was just thinking about the law of attraction, and how the law of attraction says you want, your significant other, you want abundance, you want a new job. Just think about it. And I suffer from aphantasia, which is it's hard for me to form creative thought. I can form creative thought for other people, but when it comes to myself, it's negative. And it's in third person, it's not in first person. So it's very difficult. And so this morning, God just gave me the aha moment where he's like, Shannon, the joy of the Lord is your strength. And we can speak things into existence as long as you have the intention in your speech. Then what you speak into the air in prayer, and you believe in my name, then it's going to come. It's going to happen. And I was just like, oh. So then I just started thinking, okay, so I'll just think about the negatives in my life. Just think of them as being the enemy, and I'm standing in front of them saying, no, I got the joy of the Lord. I'm untouchable. I got the joy of the Lord. I'm untouchable. Bring it. You know what? Bring on that problem. Bring it. I'm untouchable, because God will find a way. I don't have to do anything. And that's scripture. God says he will make a way out under it. He'll have you walk out underneath that problem. So I just need to duck. I don't even need to duck and cover. Just duck. And God will make a way. The joy of the Lord is our strength. So think of your problems as them, they're a gift from the enemy. And they're not a gift. They're a curse. And all you have to do is stand in front of it and say, no, I've got the joy of the Lord. The joy of the Lord is my strength. I can get through this. I can get through this with him who is my strength. I can do this because God will fight for me. I don't need to do anything. I just need to stand. I just need to stand in front of this with Jesus. I just need to stand in front of this problem and smile my way through. I just need to stand in front of this problem with the faith, knowing that God will fight for me. And there we go. Now, that's not saying this problem will go away immediately, but it will go away. It will dissipate, and God will open up opportunities for us. So God opens opportunities for the narcissist by the narcissist has a door of opportunity to leave us, and they take that door of opportunity. That's a win for us. So with that said, thanks for watching. Please come back here tonight at 10 o'clock as we'll open the video for your questions, comments, and suggestions, and we'll just hang together and talk if that's okay with you. So thanks for showing up today. Thanks for giving me your time, and go enjoy the rest of your day. I love you guys. Bye.